that flat rock there is going to serve as the base for my fireplace slash oven. It's raised a little bit off the ground, it's about knee level, but got to work with what I got here, so I think it'll be okay. And I got a decent selection of rocks up on the hillside here, not too far to throw them down here. Okay, I got a decent pile of rocks here, ready to go. Should be enough to get me started here. Cleared off the base rock. Next job, head down to the creek over here, try to round up some clay. Here we have some clay. It's not perfect, it's a little sandy and it's kind of dry, but see what I can do with it. Okay, so here's where I'm at. It was just too muddy working with that clay to film this, but here's the fire pit area. It's not too bad, it's a little on the small side. And the oven is going to be underneath. This is one flat stone right through to the back of the fire area. So that should heat up, and we'll see if it makes enough heat that we could bake something in here. There's enough room you could probably cook a little bit of bread or something in there. So hopefully that'll get hot enough. It'll be an interesting experiment anyways. And I've gone around and chinked with that clay all the way around. All the rocks are just sitting there kind of keystone together. Seems pretty solid. Okay, I'll have to improvise something for a door on that. And let's get a fire going in here. Smoke's finding all kinds of ways out of there. Figured it would. Maybe I'll go get some more clay and patch these up as I'm going here. It's going to take a while to generate some heat. Get some of that steam out of there and start drafting. But we'll just keep with her here. Well, I got the fire to a point where I think I could probably turn my back on it for a couple of seconds. I'm going to go try to scrounge up something to attempt to cook here. Whether I boil it or actually do manage to generate some heat in this oven. I kind of doubt it. The bed of coals isn't very big. It would take a long time to heat up that rock and then that whole area inside of there. So we'll see how it does in the time that I have here. But it seems to be working okay. It needs a lot more clay, that's for sure. But there's lots of steam pouring off there too. But the smoke generally comes out the chimney. I learned from this that if you want to make a fireplace and you want it to be a decent size, you got to start really big because it gets small really fast on you. So I do intend to make another fireplace one day somewhere out here. I want to set up a more permanent camp that I can come back to. So this is good. This is a good experiment for me. I'm learning a lot with this. Okay, got some water boiling here. I'll toss a few things in there. We have some bunchberry leaves. And I'll grab my fiddleheads. Drop them in there too. So while that's steeping for a minute, let's take a look at this. The clay on the hearth here hardened up nicely. So I know the clay can work. On some of the parts where I chinked it around, it's drying up. It's hardening too, but it's cracked a little bit, so it would have to be gone over again. But looks like this kind of clay will work. As far as the oven goes, it's been a couple hours here with some nice coals in it. It's warm. The rock is hot. Yeah, you can't touch it for more than about a second. So it's hot, but this is only warm. So that might be okay if you needed to rise a bread or something. You could probably do that in there. But I don't know if it get hot enough to cook it, like I was saying, with this little bit of coals. Overall, I'm happy with the result. Fiddleheads. That's pretty good. Tiny little guy.